walked in again, third day in a row alone, but this time she asked for silence. She stood on a chair, held up a photo, and said something that made everyone freeze. Nobody understood at first. Even the oldest officer in the room started shaking, because that little 6-year-old girl was about to reveal a secret the whole town had tried to forget. Drop a quick comment and tell us what city you're watching this from. Everyone in town knew Sophie. 6 years old, ponytails tied with purple scrunchies, always wearing a blue dress, lived with her grandmother since her mom died in a car accident. Nobody really knew who the father was. She was the kind of kid people smiled at but didn't ask much about. Quiet, polite, always humming little songs to herself. That's why when she showed up alone at the police station one Monday morning, just before 8 a.m., nobody knew what to do. She walked in, sat in the waiting area, pulled a crumpled photo out of her jacket pocket, and stared at the door. Didn't cry, didn't speak. Officer Bradley, who'd worked there for over 20 years, asked her if she was okay. She just said, "I'm waiting." The next day she came back. Same time, same spot. This time she had a sandwich wrapped in foil and a stuffed bear in her arms. Again, she just sat quietly. When Bradley tried to talk to her, she gave the same answer. Still waiting. Word started spreading. People from the neighborhood dropped by to see what was going on. Some thought it was cute, others were concerned. A social worker came by, talked to the grandmother, who simply said, "She keeps saying it's important. I can't stop her." On the third day, everything changed. Sophie walked in again, but this time with a different energy. She stood on a chair in the middle of the room and asked everyone to be quiet. "I need to tell you something," she said. Her voice was calm, serious. She held up the photo. It showed a man in a military uniform. "This is my daddy. He didn't run away, he was taken." The room went silent. Bradley slowly stood. He recognized the man, a former soldier who had been arrested years ago under suspicion of leaking information. It was a case closed quickly and quietly, but there had always been rumors something wasn't right. Sophie said she had been getting letters from someone using the nickname only her dad called her, Ladybug. The letters had instructions, clues. One said, "Go where justice still wears a badge, I'll find you." Sophie believed he was still alive and in hiding, and she believed someone at the station had the answers. That night, Officer Bradley stayed late and pulled the old files. What he found didn't sit right. Conflicting reports, a missing audio file, a retired detective's handwritten note that had never been processed. By morning, the department opened a quiet inquiry. 2 weeks later, a body was discovered buried in an unmarked grave on land once owned by a disgraced private contractor tied to the case. DNA confirmed it was Sophie's father. He'd never betrayed anyone. He'd tried to expose corruption and was silenced for it. Sophie's letters were real. He had left them behind, hoping someone, maybe someday his daughter, would find the truth. Sophie didn't get to see her father again, but she gave him back his name. And the whole town, for the first time, had to look at itself and ask how it let a little girl carry the weight of justice on her tiny shoulders. Comment the word light if this story hit you, because even in the darkest rooms, sometimes the smallest voice brings the truth to light. There is a story here on the screen that will also move you. Press to watch. You won't regret it.